There are two types of people in this world: those who are born only to make money, and those who know the art of preserving that money forever. Zaryab belonged to the first category. So brilliant that whatever he touched turned to gold, yet so arrogant that he never saw the danger lurking behind his success, which would one day destroy him. Today, we will dive deep into that $10 million mistake, which began with a small win, but ended in a catastrophe that turned everything to ashes.
The story begins in a small garage. Zaryab had no fancy degree, no influential connections, and no millions in his bank account. All he had was an old laptop and a passion that wouldn't let him sleep at night. While his friends were out hanging out, Zaryab would be fixing bugs in his software. He worked 18 hours a day, often falling asleep right there at his computer table.
His goal wasn't just to become rich. He wanted to be the best at what he did. It was this very humility that earned him his first major contract. Over the next 5 years, Zaryab never looked back. His software had created a sensation across the country. His bank balance began to swell. The small garage was replaced by a magnificent office, and Zaryab's name started appearing on the covers of business magazines.
But meanwhile, a silent change was taking place. Zaryab's hard work had shifted from self-confidence into arrogance. He began to feel that he could never be wrong. He started dismissing the advice of his old friends and loyal employees as useless. He became convinced that the market moved at his command, and it was at this very point that the seeds of his downfall were sown.
The biggest enemy of success is the feeling that I know everything. Zaryab's company was at its peak, but the world of technology was changing rapidly. His most loyal manager, Haris, mustered up the courage to interrupt him. "Sir, the world is now moving towards artificial intelligence. If we don't update our system, we will be left behind."
Zaryab burst into laughter and slammed the file onto the table. "Haris, I've been coding since you were in school. I don't need you to teach me the market." This was the first instance where Zaryab's ego tossed a valuable piece of advice into the trash can. Now, Zaryab began to feel invincible. His software business started to feel boring to him. He withdrew millions from his company and began investing in things he knew nothing about. He dabbled in volatile crypto trends, bought expensive lands, and poured money into new startups that had no future.
His focus, which was once his greatest strength, was now completely shattered. He had forgotten that even a sturdy tree falls when the gardener stops watering its roots.
Within just a few months, the consequences began to surface. The new project Zaryab had poured money into started sinking one by one. Meanwhile, his core software business, which he had neglected, was becoming obsolete. Major clients were abandoning his company, moving towards more modern competitors.
Zaryab's accountants warned him, "Sir, we are running out of cash." But for the sake of his ego, Zaryab resorted to lies. He took on more debt just to show the world that he was still the king. He was falling into a pit from which he had already blocked the exit himself.
They say that when downfall approaches, a person's intellect is the first thing to fail. The interest on the loans Zaryab had taken to save his ego was now greater than his actual capital. His crypto investments crashed overnight, and the land he had spent millions on became entangled in legal disputes.
In the software company, the situation was such that employees who once would have given their lives at his command were now leaving because they weren't being paid. Zaryab was still lying to everyone, insisting that everything would be all right.
The people who used to swarm around Zaryab like moths during his success had now vanished like shadows. He now realized how many sincere people he had hurt in his arrogance. Haris,
The one who had advised him to move towards artificial intelligence was now holding a high position in a rival company. When Zariab truly needed a shoulder to lean on, he had nothing but empty walls and the heavy burden of his own mistakes. The very ego that never let him bow before anyone was now consuming him from within. And then came the day that Zariab had feared in his nightmares. The bank issued orders to seize his property. The house, whose every brick he had chosen with the pride of his success, was no longer his. The $10 million fortune that once made him feel invincible had now turned into nothing more than scraps of paper and debt files.
Zariab realized that he hadn't just lost money, he had lost his dignity, his identity, and the 10 years of hard work he had poured into building that empire.
After losing $10 million, if Zariab had anything left, it was time and silence. In that small room, he finally understood that the cause of his downfall wasn't a market crash or the betrayal of friends. It was himself. His own ego had blinded him. He had thought he was bigger than the system, but the truth was that no human is greater than time or the process of learning. He burned all those files that held the tales of his former pride, and on a plain sheet of paper, he wrote just one word: humility.
Zariab started over from zero. This time he took no shortcuts, nor did he lean on his former identity. He did exactly what he knew best: coding.
When people saw a former multimillionaire working like an ordinary employee, they mocked him. But Zariab no longer cared. He had learned that true wealth is not a bank balance, but a character that does not break in difficult times.
He began to save every single penny, but this time his goal was not to build a palace, but to lay a foundation that would never shake.
Friends, Zariab's story is not just the story of a businessman. It is a tale that belongs to all of us. We often let a small success go to our heads, forgetting that the market doesn't care about our ego. Remember, 99% of people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they stop adapting to changing times and stop listening to others.
If you too want to achieve something great, first learn to kill your ego. Otherwise, it will kill the empire you built with your hard work. Friends, if you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. To watch more videos like this on business and money mindset, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Comment below and let us know your thoughts. Thank you.